missing. The opposition and all that lane switching. This is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
There ain't no time, is it?
Camara Drive-In. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with a call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Drew Brees and the Saints heading out here to take over. Brees coming off another incredible season in 2018, set the all-time record for completion percentage in a single season, 74.4%. In fact, we can go ahead and just call that the Drew Brees category. He holds 4 of the top 5 best seasons percentage-wise in NFL. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. A big play there on the first play of the game. 53 yards.
Clearly, every time the Saints put together a game plan, they plan to get Michael Thomas involved early and often. 125 catches in 2018, the most in the NFL. Not bad for a kid in Pop Warner football that only played the minimum number of plays every game.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. Cook's got it. Touchdown Saints. Jared Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
What's good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Artis Payne. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Artis Payne, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you talk about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. And a nice spin into some open field. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. So much talk this week on the other side about slowing him down coming off that great performance, NFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But long touchdown run there, nobody was stopping it.
Yeah, good luck for that, because that was an explosive run. You know, in the NFL, they describe that as any run over 10 yards. Some teams say 15. He went over 20-plus on that one.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
What we got?
Throwing is Newton. It's complete. Artis Payne. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Shreds him with a stiff, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Lutzel look to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Give him 5 on a carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Newton completes it to Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
20.
Newton on 1st down. Complete. Smith has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Newton. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Newton now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Going quickly out wide to Moore. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. To the air again, Newton. And his pass incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. They'll run. This is Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A good game there on first down. That run will get him 7 up to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now, he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one, 28 yards on the ground.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Murray. Doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big... And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Lutz with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, though. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we've come to half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A.
20.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, here's Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Murray, strong running. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Fights him off. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards. Between those last 2 plays.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Now a play fake. Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Panthers will get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been in the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? On 2nd and 12, Newton, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Ginn. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He's going to rifle one, and this is caught. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 51 yards. And here it's just a simple question of whether or not the ball broke the plane. Well, I said it's simple. It's not really that simple. This could be really complicated.
We would love for it to be simple, to know that it did actually cross the plane of the goal line. But as you described, it is a difficult call. All it takes is a portion of the ball crossing that line. Now the officials have to determine if that happened.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. A gain on the play. Ready? You ready?
All right, so the call stands. Tough now. They're out of challenges. Do you like the amount of challenges they have? And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next
blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this spot. No, okay.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now Artis Payne, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now it's Ginn. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Dancing to his left. He'll air it out, and this is taken in at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now Breeze. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. As his guys continue to put... And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A good pickup there, 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. Newton now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Newton to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's Artis Payne. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage.
This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 53 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they'll run. Murray. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now it's Newton. And his throw here is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. That is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Newton on third down. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. On first down, it's Newton. And that is incomplete here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Thomas has got it. Complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They had to catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. To throw is Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point try, good by Gano. The game is finished, by the way, now in Cincinnati, and the Steelers coming away victorious there. Ben Roethlisberger, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Latavius Murray, 30, past the 20. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little a little extra on top.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Saints, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's a loss that could hurt them come